Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You roll call, Mayor. Commissioner Wilkinson?
Here.
Commissioner Justardens?
Here.
Commissioner Byrd?
Here.
Commissioner Prunick?
Here.
Mayor Barry?
Here. All right, item B, public comment, 1 minute limit. Anybody? Hearing none. Item C, consent agenda. Everything look good with the consent agenda?
I have one question. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it looks good.
Oh, okay. I'd entertain a motion.
I'll move we approve the consent agenda.
I'll support. Moved by Commissioner Justardens, supported by Commissioner Prunick to approve the consent agenda. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Old business. Item 1, Picture Rocks Cruises lease agreement that we tabled from 3/18/2026.
I have read the city attorney's opinion. He's not here. this morning.
No, he's not here till second.
I move we approve the Picture Dot Cruise
Support.
lease agreement.
Moved by Commissioner Justardens, supported by
Did you
Commissioner.
see the city attorney's opinion, John?
I would like to see it.
I'll email it to you, but yeah, and really just to renew the lease, we just need that letter.
Yeah, and I will say that I was ready to take the blame for this lease because it happened in 2011, but it turns out I was not the mayor then. Bob Bokery was the mayor, and I was not at the meeting it was approved at either.
Neither was I.
Okay, we've got a motion on the table from Commissioner Justardens, supported by Commissioner Wilkinson. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 2, Student Resource Officer, updated memorandum of understanding. Michelle, do you want to start with this? There's some discussion.
Well, we updated the memorandum, the MOU, extending the student resource officer through the end of the school year. However, sounds like we still have some work to do on the contract if it's going to continue.
So I'll just jump in. Having this already re-upped through the end of the school year, that does take a considerable amount of action away from this municipality moving forward. The only thing that we can do is match policy for policy in the hopes of trying to make sure that things are going to be done the right way. I think the biggest thing for us in terms of the concerns with it deals with police action. The MOU states that the police officer is a city employee, but the school handbook has designated the school resource officer as an official school official, which means that there's a lot of confusion about when a cop is being a cop or when a cop is not being a cop. And that can really only be determined now by what policies the city police take on. I would highly recommend that before the next meeting, we have an updated policy coming from Chief Peters in the police department that specifically addresses how the school resource officer is acting on behalf of the city, his employer, while serving as the SRO, and a real in-depth and comprehensive aspect of how a body cam is to be used inside the school. With aspects of not being able to record inside the school based on smartphone regulations, not because of the lack of recording, but because of the concerns of smartphones and stuff like that. We need to make sure that the evidence for whatever circumstances is done really, really in depth. And I think that that's the only option that the city has at this point.
I have a question. Why can't the SRO be a city employee and still be listed as an administrator at school?
Because the student handbook, and without trying to get this into too deep, the school adjudicates every legal issue in triplicate. They have they create an investigation essentially based on the legal implications. Then they have a separate investigation on whether it violates school handbook. And then if you are in any extracurriculars, there's a third investigation that happens on whether or not you have the privilege revoked to be a part of a school's special event. Because of that, and the lack of appeal processes or declaration of when the officer is conducting an investigation and what kind of access they would have to evidence to use in appeals, it gets really messy, and the school can essentially use those other investigations to intimidate or punish the children for doing things like, I don't want to speak to a cop, which is well within their constitutional rights. They can also punish the kid for saying, I want my parent there, because that would be insubordination based on other parts of the student handbook. So if it's unclear how the cop is acting, how the law enforcement officer that we hired is acting based on these additional terms and discussions for the school to handle their own internal investigations, then that does create Fifth, Sixth, and Fourth Amendment concerns for any student and their parents. And I just want to make sure that we still have a reason for people to have trust in our law enforcement, make sure that our law enforcement officer is not put into a bad spot. Because it's not about the individuals, either by the school or by our law enforcement and police department. It's based on how bad the policy contradicts itself.
If it's a civil infraction, it goes to the city anyway.
It does
It
not.
goes to the city attorney.
It
Yes,
does
it
not.
does. It doesn't. The civil infraction, the school doesn't handle the civil infraction. It handles a disciplinary problem, but not a civil infraction.
That is not what the school handbook says.
I would think that city ordinances would trump the school handbook, but I don't know. And the city attorney is not here to give us any guidance. I have not seen the school handbook. I wonder if we could get a copy, Michelle? I
It's
go
a-
down.
It's available online.
It is? Okay,
Yeah,
then
so-
never mind, I'll look at it online. Apparently, there are some discrepancies or some things that have to be resolved between our memorandum of understanding and the school handbook. Do you think Sheila will have time to do that in a month?
Not even a month.
Not even a month? I would not pressure her to do it. I think we want to do it right. I think if we had it done in time for the next school year, that would be prudent enough.
So just as one last informational tidbit, when this MOU originally got organized, this was on the prior student handbook. And
Yes, I
so
understand that.
that aspect, when the new student handbook came in and created, it tripled in size. That's where some of these conflictions
I
came in.
understand that too.
So it is one of those things where.
But it sounds like it's going to take quite an effort to reconcile the two, to do it right, to ensure that we protect our officer and also respect the rights of the students. And we want to make sure we get it right. I just don't know that we can put all of that on Sheila to do in less than a month. And school's going to be out in a month or 2 months.
Because we're back in the agreement, we'd also have to see if the school's even going to entertain this as an option. Because a lot of this is underneath the purview of the state, or state law that gives it
Superintendent
to.
signed it.
Correct. But that's the handbook issues. So the handbook issues, we actually don't really have a whole lot to control on. The only thing that we have in agreement with the school is the MOU, and the MOU contradicts what would be our policies as well as contradicting the school's policies. And now that it's re-upped near the end of the year, we don't have any recourse besides adding additional policies within our own selves to try to adapt to these things last second.
I agree, Rex, but I just don't know that we can do it before the end of the school year if we want to do it right. And I don't know that we want to put that burden on the chief and the city attorney to do it quickly and expeditiously rather than thoroughly and correctly. I know Jake has a wonderful reputation down at the school and a wonderful working relationship with the staff and with the students, and I trust his discretion to do what is of proper, I'm sure he's read the student handbook and is aware of its restrictions. Anyway, I agree with you that we need to reconcile the two. I just don't know that we can do it within a month if we want to do it right.
I would be in favor of still pushing the issue with the police department. You know, there were other body cam issues with evidence procedures dealing with things not regarding the school that I know that they've been working on that would overlap with this. The general idea of including this in ongoing body cam discussion and policies would fall underneath the purview of that. And, you know, to make it better in terms of what we're asking for, I think is the key aspect, including making sure that the clip of this video that's happening gets sent directly to Sheila so that way she can hear it and say, hey, these are where the overlaps are, this is what the concerns are, where do they fit in your policy making? Because these policies are gonna be up to her primarily. It's as her role in the chief as an employee of the city. It's not gonna necessarily come to us directly to approve every single small policy. So I respect the issues of wanting to do it right. I also know that this has been an ongoing issue that has harmed a lot of people in this community.
Harmed a lot of people?
Yes.
For instance,
We don't lose 2 graduating classes worth of students to school of choice if we didn't have bad policies over at the school. And we don't have probate cases overwhelming our court system if that wasn't the case. We
So
wouldn't have
the
lawsuits.
school policies are an issue.
School policies are at issues,
Well,
but
we have no
using-
purview
But
over
that's-
school.
I realize that,
Right.
but I want to make sure that our law enforcement is not causing this or a tool. to use
when
their
have we
own.
lost 2 graduating classes to school of
You
choice?
should check Marisa about how many students we've.
Oh, I can, yeah, and I do, because I know how
So-
many students start at kindergarten and finish at 12th grade, and there's not a lot of them. And then we lose a lot, and they come and go. I can't see how we've lost 90 students, because that's our graduating class, about 45, I think. We've lost 90 students in what time period?
There's 47. That's
Okay, I'm
in
gonna
your
stop
section.
you.
Okay, so
You guys-
it's 94 then.
I'm
You
stopping.
want this approved?
That's,
Can you look a motion to approve?
yes, approve the MOU as presented, and we definitely need to do something to establish a call of action.
I move that we approve the school resources officer memorandum of understanding and authorize the city manager to work with the chief of police and the school district to revise it as soon as we can.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll support.
I gotta get this down. Okay, so it's been moved by Commissioner Justardens, supported by Commissioner Prunick to approve the memorandum of understanding as presented, and also to authorize the city manager to work with the school district and the chief of police to revise, review, work on policy to, well, basically to review it. Does that sound?
Works
like-
for me.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Just from a procedural standpoint,
Okay.
why are we re-approving this if we're already in it?
Because it expired.
But it's already been signed by Michelle.
Well,
Yes, it
it's a,
has.
it's a formality, but we still need, it still needs to be approved.
Anything the city manager puts before us for approval, we either have to approve or deny.
Is this brought forward on approval, or is this brought forward on discussion of the procedure?
On approval.
Okay.
But we are adding to work on the policy and procedure as well. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. New business, item 1, city manager report.
I like it, you've been busy. Brief and to the point.
Any questions?
What's the name of this railroad again?
thought it was
Oh,
CNN.
Something else.
something else. Oh, but I did have two action items in there. How do we?
Motorized transportation plan.
No.
Well, it says action, send any comments. to
Oh,
the-
that, no, above that, the water sewer rates, we wanna pick a date to have a meeting to discuss that. A special meeting.
So what did we say, we were, is there the date in here? May
Oh, I
8th?
said May 7th.
May 7th.
Which is a Thursday.
May
Oh, there it
7th?
is, yep, I got it.
May 7th, you're gonna wait a month? Okay.
Well, the
I can do it.
discussion, okay, this discussion was after the election.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my thought process.
One or two special meeting dates, May 7th.
I suppose we don't have to pick that day today, but, probably the next meeting we should.
I'd certainly be in favor of 2 meetings to discuss this with the public, to give them as much information and as much heads up as we can.
Yeah.
Okay. What dates?
What day is May 7th?
The first is
Friday.
Is it Friday?
The first is,
First is a Friday,
I'm
so
not
the
in-
7th would be a Thursday. So if we had the 7th and,
the 11th?
yeah, make them 2 different days, that's fine with me. When is their meeting in May?
The 6th and the 18th.
Okay.
I would recommend not the 11th for conflicting with county meetings.
Oh. 12th?
7th and the 12th?
I just threw out there that I will most likely probably
Not
not
be
be
here?
present at any of those.
Oh, you can Zoom, can't you?
Okay. 7th and the 12th. Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, it works for me. Of course, I'm not tired.
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
Yep.
We're declaring those as special meetings.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't, I guess need to find this out. Definitely want participation, audience participation in those meetings. We want to hear all the questions and concerns.
I'll have a presentation to give.
And then what was the other item, Michelle?
Victory Cruise Lines. Basically, I need help, we gotta get this Part 105 permit by May 20th, in order to have the Victory Cruise boat come to town. I'm gonna need some help on that, time's crunching,
I can help.
you can help,
I
okay.
can. I'll come and talk to you tomorrow.
Alright, sounds good.
All right. So,
And I know Keegan's volunteered to help, but he's,
Yeah, I
He's
reached
got
out to him today.
okay,
Asked him to send me what needs to be completed. But Rod, have you been through that before?
No,
Okay,
but
so-
I'm a pretty smart guy.
I know. But we've done that for our facility, so
Yeah.
he probably knows the,
I talked to him before, and he does have it all, but I know he's got stuff going on too, so just if we, I've also got limited
I'll let Rod take the
availability.
lead, but if he wants our input, we can help.
Who?
I'll let you take the lead.
And,
If you want some information we have.
yes. Oh, you said you're gonna have somebody send it to me.
Yeah, Keegan's been through it before with past events, so he knows the system.
Who?
Keegan.
Keegan, okay. So I'm the one hearing again, John. You're in mono. Got no stereo.
all right.
Can I get, what is Part 105?
Oh, you
Of
weren't here.
what?
Oh, sorry, you were
What?
at the last meeting. You were-
Basically to have a boat
Cruise ship.
cruise ship dock, and
It's
maybe,
part of what?
Emergency
What-
plan, is it?
it's also because
It's a
it's.
security plan.
Yeah, it's a security plan, it's like a foreign registered ship, even though it's American-based company, I think.
It's
boats-
Department of Homeland Security,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Because we are an international port.
Right, okay, that's all I needed. to- I
Coast Guard?
just, it said just Part 105,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, 105, what, page 105 or? part-
So you have two facilities in Munising that qualify. our loading facility
In the cold dock.
and a cold dock. And they have to have a safety.
So I assume the mill has one in place too. then?
Yes.
Who's the mill manager these days? Funny that we don't know that.
Any,
No, he doesn't live in
Yes.
Houston.
okay, Bryce has a question.
All right, so, did that quarterly report from VFL get in today?
Ooh, I did not, I have a bunch of emails I haven't checked, so it could have, but I don't know yet.
Fair enough. And then, why are we being charged $500 for relevant information?
If the railroad has to do a bunch of stuff to get their right-of-way information to you, they charge for
Grand
it.
Have you ever, I worked with the railroad trying, when we were in Wisconsin, if you've ever tried to work with them, they are,
It's like pulling teeth.
oh,
Awesome.
it's awful. That's
Kelly's
why-
smiling, he knows.
Yeah, we were trying to, with wood products, and it just was, they were just being sticklers. Okay, anybody else? I entertain a motion to approve the report.
I make a motion to approve the city manager report.
Moved by Commissioner Prunick, supported by Commissioner Burge, to approve the city manager report. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We've got a request from the Munising Fire Department to waive the launch and dockage fees for their annual Munising Trout and Salmon Classic. The dates are incorrect on
The memo?
the request. It should be the 15th through the 17th.
Sure, I could read the business for that.
I entertain a motion unless.
I move that we approve the fire department's request to use the boat launch and the marina at no charge on May 15th and 17th. for
Through-
the
through-
fishermen.
Through 17.
Through the 17th.
May 15th through the 17th.
I'll support.
Moved by Commissioner Justardens, supported by Commissioner Wilkinson, to approve the municipal.
We could use help at the fillet table if anybody's
I'm
interested.
in the middle of, yeah. It's been moved to approve the Munising Volunteer Fire Department's request to waive the launch and dockage fees for their annual Munising Trout and Salmon Classic, May 15th through the 17th. Any other discussion? Hearing
My
none.
apologies, Mayor, but we could use help at the fillet table.
Can
if
we,
anybody's-
can I finish the motion?
You asked for further discussion.
Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Now you can say that.
Well, no, because the issue is done.
All right, phase two of the boat
Further
launch,
discussion means further discussion.
phase two boat launch project,
Always.
to reassign the signer to the city manager. We had previously had Kristen,
Kristen, yeah.
yep, so now switching that to Michelle.
I move we authorize the city manager as a signatory for the boat launch project.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Justardens, supported by Commissioner Burge, to authorize the city manager to be the signature for phase two boat launch project. Any more discussion?
No?
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Kelly, some Coleman engineering updates.
Okay. I'm just gonna go through the project list, start at the top. So campground, bathroom, shower building rehab project. You've got that change order in front of you tonight to review. Projects on schedule, no issues that I'm aware of, so sounds like city staff's happy with progress, and it's going well. Campground, high sodium issue project. The RFQ for that has begun. I did not get your estimate requested for lining that. That's actually one of the conversations ongoing between me and a contractor. I'm not sure I can get you a number on that, but I'm gonna continue to work on it.
Can I ask a question? Where's the $6,000 budget come from for the high sodium issue? We've spent none of it, which is good.
Right.
I will not recommend spending any more.
I think that probably just, I'd have to look back in my notes
Okay.
and see if we assigned
That's
that
fine.
or if that was just an estimate.
Okay, so the RFQ's been started, there's gonna be discussion between Scott and Ron on some of the finer language in that RFQ, but it's in progress. Let's see, Washington Street. fair amount to talk about regarding that one. Plans are pretty darn close to being finished right now. I've got, an engineering firm working with to do some controls design for the booster and lift station, make sure it all speaks to the city's SCADA system right now. Beyond that, the biggest design item I'm working on right now is, we're gonna get into this a little more in a moment, but there's one of the existing culverts on Washington Street, the state, when we filed our permit for that, asked us to upsize the culvert from a 36-inch pipe to an 8-foot by 4-foot box culvert.
Because,
That meets their criteria for the existing bank width for the stream crossing.
how many of those do we have? Just one, or no, two, right?
Box culverts? Ooh, I'm not sure.
Well, we have the
I might
one,
have at least one other one.
they have the one at Tannery, right by the lift station.
Underneath the highway, I think that is a box, otherwise it's a 48-inch pipe, I believe.
Okay, then there's one further down for the other stream that crosses. And that's just a trickle, 8-foot by 4.
It was a trickle the last time I looked at it too. So that creates some issues for constructability, trying to keep the cost down to do it. We brought it up before, but this job's a little tricky trying to maintain access for residents and the hospital. So I've got some different construction there that's now to keep traffic moving. Beyond that, we've got some property issues we're working through to keep that project moving. The thing I really wanted to touch base on is the budget. Did you guys receive a copy of that, or a cost estimate?
For,
Like this?
yeah,
There it is, yep.
Alright, so preliminary cost estimate for the project, I kinda intentionally left that red column or red total on there for the community facilities cost estimate, but it does mean that the project overall fits within the budget. That's the side of the project you would rather have some higher costs on, because we can kind of funnel those back through the water and wastewater side. So as a net project, it did come in on budget. When I finish the phase construction drawings for the box culvert, I will be getting a fine cost estimate from a contractor, and also review kind of constructability. That's probably my biggest wild card on the project right now. That one can vary quite a bit. It's a very difficult culvert to install.
loan grant, those are two different things,
Correct.
okay? I see just one number.
Those first two projects,
Okay, the loan-
funding sources are
So there's
100%
$2 million
loan.
grant for, how much for water, how much for wastewater?
There is no grant for water or wastewater. Those are 100% loan. The community, the CF portion was 100% grant.
Okay.
So with all that being said, it's a little too close for comfort on the overall balancing of the budget. So I talked with Ron about this. The best options I feel we can do is create 3 alternates for the project. We do the booster station as one alternate, we do the lift station as a second alternate, and I'm gonna propose we do the box culvert itself as a third one. Eagle's not gonna particularly like that, but I think we can get through it with the utilities without disturbing what's there. There's logic behind why they're choosing that size. If we ever had, I don't recall who, but when we were dealing with Cemetery Road, the question came up, what's the planning like for future flooding events? Box culvert would be an answer to a future flooding event. So that kind of puts one alternate in each of the funding categories, so we have the option, if it's been high, we can kind of look at chopping one component of the scope out and or the contract. Just because the overall replacement of the lift station or that comes to be doesn't mean we can't do a smaller component of that work. We can still look at doing new pumps at the booster station, but not redo the entire interior of the booster station, things like that. So that's where we stand today. So just a little bit left on the design front. As soon as those controls drawings are done, we'll be filing permits on both the water and wastewater side. We've already got the stream crossing. Getting pretty close. Addressed a couple property issues and a couple of USDA items, but project is moving ahead.
You know, Kelly, I'm confused on this budget.
Okay.
The total cost of the wastewater portion is $2,709,000.
Correct.
And water, $100,719,000. Right?
Correct.
And we're getting a $2 million grant.
Correct.
And so the city's portion is,
The city's portion would be column 1 with the USDA water and the USDA wastewater.
so we need to borrow $1,719,000 for the water and $2,709,000 for the wastewater,
Correct.
on top of the $2 million grant.
Correct.
And these would be revenue bonds,
Yes.
paid for with water and sewer rates.
Enterprise funds, yes.
Okay.
Next project was the TMF project. That's moving along just fine. It should still be on schedule, we'll wrap up in April. Non-motorized asset management plan. I guess that's.
Still in our court, my court.
SRF lead service line project. Easement letters have gone out to all the residents that were trying to get access to the properties for construction. A lot of questions coming up from that one, a lot of interested citizens. You have an amendment, an engineering amendment in front of you tonight to adjust our contract for the on-site archaeological monitoring. And the last development was the Prospect, Prospect Street paving. Did many runs with Eagle trying to get those 2 blocks of Prospect fully funded. We ended up landing on Eagle willing to pay for up to 75% of the cost. So there's a couple crude sketches I made to try to show the Eagle showing it, but if we don't come up with a mechanism or the city's willing to contribute to that, it is gonna be a very patched up 2 blocks. I've given Michelle a couple rough cost estimates if the city's looking at possibly funding the last 25%, but the state will pay 75% of the overall replacement. So beyond that, big critical date coming up, the next critical date coming up is we're going up for bids for that job on April 16th. That's going up pretty quick.
For which job?
The lead service line replacement
Okay.
project. Boat access site on hold, feasibility on hold. Wastewater treatment plant upgrades. We did hold just a kind of impromptu meet and greet between Coleman and HDR in the city, and we selected a date of April 23rd to kind of hold the true project kickoff meeting. That'll be starting pretty soon. Safe road for schools. Don't really have an update on that one. And slide, just waiting to see what the nature takes over there. Football field culvert replacement. I think the city was gonna be having a meeting with
Conservation district.
Turns out it's our culvert, so.
The Conservation District has been able to help us with grant funding in the past.
They have been basically cut in half staff-wise, and their budget has been flayed, so if we want long-term planning, they're very
So
happy
is-
to help.
Yeah, so the question is, can we piecemeal that, right? Do a section that's really bad right now?
It goes underneath the road to the football field, and then behind the arena.
Yes, against the hill, yeah, follows the hill back and
That's gonna be expensive.
So I feel like we have to get a lot more on the ball with that, because isn't that what they just announced that they got their insurance money for, to fix that track? I mean, if they're in plans to fix the track right now, then I feel like we gotta be a little bit more aggressive on this, so that way they're not wasting their insurance money.
Well, we have to wait for the snow to
It's
melt.
very, I mean, it's not gonna be, it's like probably, I'm thinking in Alaska prices maybe, but I'm thinking like $50,000 to $100,000. It's not cheap. It's not something that we can just and fix.
Well, after previous discussion on a different one, I wanna make sure that we are maintaining all communication with other governments, including the school board. I wanna make sure that we're not the ones, you know, causing problems here.
We met with the
So-
school, we met with the conservation district.
So the conservation district did say they will look for grants for this, but there's nothing available as emergency funds to do it right now.
Okay.
If they can wait, yes, but it can't, you know.
I'm looking, but right now, there's no obvious emergency funds, so we are probably gonna have to, I've given direction to DPW and the water department to keep an eye on that area. It's still covered in snow.
How do we know it collapsed?
With
Didn't we know that
pictures.
televised it?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, not really. Not fine.
Thank you, Kelly, for this is very helpful.
They also recommended looking into direct congressional funding. That was their recommendation.
You don't need any action, I don't think, so updates, basically.
Were all the action items taken care of in here?
We've got action items coming out.
Okay.
Yep. And so we'll move on to item 5, the first action item. Coleman Engineering, Professional Engineering Services Contract 2026 LSLR Project, Amendment Number 1, Construction Services and On-Site Archaeological Monitoring.
This one, yeah, this kills me.
Jeez. And then they're gonna charge you $2,000 to give you a wrong racket.
Do you want to expound on this?
Ship them.
Sure, so the, part of the process to receive the funding for SRF requires the federal cost cutters. One of those is contacting the State Historic Preservation Office. We submitted the areas we plan on working in. The officer from SHPO responded back and basically drew a buffer line along the shoreline of Lake Superior and then along the river over there, and basically said that there's a potential for something to be found. You were required to have 100%. Anytime you disturb the earth in that area for those lead services, you will have an on-site archaeologist present at all times. So since then, the state of Michigan.
Okay.
And a rather significant cost.
So it's necessary. Anybody else have any questions?
No, I move we approve engineering amendment number 1 to the LSLR project in the amount of $40,700.
I'll support.
I'm thrilled.
No,
I know. Moved by Commissioner Justardens, supported by Commissioner Wilkinson to approve the LSLR project amendment number 1 in the amount of $40,700. Any more discussion?
No.
Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Okay, let's continue on. Coleman Engineering Company invoice number 59487, Washington Sewer Project in the amount of $6,729.
I move we approve invoice number 59487 in the amount of $6,586.50 to Coleman Engineering.
Yeah, it's 6729.
59,487. Oh, 67, I'm sorry. $6,729.
It's been moved by Commissioner Justardens, supported by Commissioner Prunick to approve invoice number 59487 in the amount of $6,729. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Coleman Engineering Company invoice 59488 Washington Street Water Project in the amount of $6,729.
These are identical.
They are.
Yeah, one's water, one's sewer.
Okay, that's not a,
It just,
okay.
it's not typo.
I move we approve invoice number 59488 in the amount of $6,729. Coleman Engineering for the Washington Street Water Project. I'll support.
And it's been moved by Commissioner Justardens, supported by Commissioner Wilkinson to approve invoice number 59488 in the amount of $6,729 for the Washington Street Water Project. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
It's your turn, Bob.
Item 8, Coleman Engineering Company Service invoice 59489 Washington Street Community Facilities Project, amount of $7,568.88.
I move we approve invoice number 59489 for Coleman Engineering to the invoice amount of $75,6888.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Wilkinson, supported by Commissioner Justardens to approve invoice 59489 in the amount of $7,568.88 for the Washington Street Community Facilities Project. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Coleman Engineering invoice 59490 for the 2026 lead service line replacement in the amount of $9,529.
Make a motion we approve invoice number 59490 for Coleman Engineering for $9,529.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Prunick, supported by Commissioner Bird, to approve invoice number 59490 in the amount of $9,529 for the lead service line replacement project. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Okay, item 10, Hall Constructing, Tourist Park Project change order number 5 to an increase of $1,053.36.
Okay.
And this is,
Change order number, change order number 5. I move we approve change order number 5 for Hall Contracting in the amount of $1,053.36.
moved by Commissioner Justardens, supported by Commissioner Birch to approve Hall Contracting Incorporated Tourist Park Project change order number 5 in the amount of $1,053.36. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Okay, on to license agreements here. Item 11, softball field license agreement for the Munising Public Schools. Pretty straightforward. I
Just,
only have one page one.
yeah, because in the packet, we don't have the end of the
The
page.
duplex, yep.
So, was it in the online packet?
Mine has it.
This is one of two.
Yours
Oh, we
doesn't.
didn't get the duplex part of it.
You want the other half?
If it's just a signature block, we don't need it.
My other one
It's
doesn't
7
have
and
it.
8.
Maybe the next one has the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have it in here, but,
There
mind if
you
I
go.
just pass this down? Okay,
Oops.
I got mine on my phone here, so.
And there hasn't been any changes in the
Yeah.
previous one, that's all.
No, just dates, which I think when they actually sign them, the dates will be updated. Don't think there's any baseball happening right now.
There's X's where there should be a date on.
That's the next one, that's the 4-H
That's our
one.
other one, yes. We had 4-H and
All right, I move we approve the license agreement with Munising Middle Schools, Munising Public Schools for the softball field.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Justardens, supported by Commissioner Prunick to approve Municipal Public Schools license agreement for the softball field. Any discussion?
Yes. How does clause 8 about any and all improvements made to the land is subject to this license by NPS, or the next one with 4-H shall inure to become the sole property of the city? How does that deal when we're not giving exclusive licensing during this time to these groups? Because we've got two license agreements, and we basically said they're not exclusive, but then we can say that they can make improvements. So how does that balance out? Do they have to
Basically,
communicate
if they
with each
make an
other?
improvement, it's not for us to pay for it. If they wanna put a bench in there, great.
Hey, but, well, dealing with landscape work, especially after reseeding being a factor,
Just the second page.
like, if we are creating a situation where, let's say, one group reseeds it and then conflicts with the timing of the other group.
Oh.
So because we've got two exact license agreements that are going on that are
Right.
going to be overlapping in dates. So,
So then it's
this
up
is-
to me to coordinate who uses the field when.
okay, and that is explicit enough in this agreement to qualify?
Isn't the same person?
I think what you're at, I'm not sure if that, of course I gave you my copy there. I think I'm not sure what you're asking is what I'm understanding.
So reseeding takes
Improve-
2 weeks, right?
Right.
Like, so if the school, which, and I'm gonna use the school because school goes first. School goes in and says they've got, you know, a playoff game later on, and then 4-H comes in and says, well, we have to reseed this to be in compliance with our usage of the field, with the agreements that we have with other people. Like, what happens with the scheduling if we're not giving exclusive stuff? Like, do we have what, because it
Then
doesn't.
we just work together. I
Okay.
don't think it has to be like a contract, I mean, it's my understanding, this is not a contractual option, this is an agreement, a license agreement, we're not charging for the use, it's just coordinated.
It's the same person, sure. That's the coach of the varsity and the coach of 4-H.
Okay, all right, I just want to make,
So I
well,
don't think he's gonna.
coaches and,
But
Different roles
basically,
and responsibilities,
I
yeah,
have a
so-
spot on my calendar to put the date, their use, so I'm tracking to see if it overlaps or not.
okay, as long as there's not, if we've got a way to make that clear, then that's all that I was really worried about. But besides that, that was it.
Okay. Anybody else?
I got a quick question. What if the school decides to put a bench down there? Do they come to us and say, can we put a bench down there?
They should, and then we don't have to pay for it.
But there isn't, they said they can make improvements, but it doesn't have, you know, they can do what they want, but they don't do it anyway, whether they come to us or not. I understand they should.
Yeah,
But
apparently,
it's
and it
not
doesn't say
stated.
that, I don't know like the back of my hand, I'd have to verify. I don't,
Okay.
yeah.
Anybody else? All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12, softball field license for 4-H.
what
Same
do we do
thing.
about those dates?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so basically, I didn't know what dates I guess this is my first time going through this. I wasn't sure if I should find out the dates, put this forward, or if this
This is
wasn't
for the
approved.
girls softball league.
This is for the Alger County 4-H.
Yeah, they're running a
Which could be girls,
softball
I'm
league.
not sure, yeah. And I wasn't sure what the dates were yet, so. Then I decided I'd put
Typically
this
done
in
by
front
the
of
4th of July.
the commission before I get the dates and have people sign it, so that's where I landed.
I will move we approve it, subject to finalizing the end date.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Justardens, supported by Commissioner Prunick to approve the softball field license for 4-H, contingent upon finalizing the end date. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Yeah, that motion carries. Okay, scheduled budget workshops.
You guys are cutting into my retirement time here, you know.
So, what are you thinking? I mean,
Busier now.
Probably sometime the last 2 weeks of April,
okay,
or a little sooner. I probably need another week to finish my work.
how many dates would you guys, are you looking? 2? Okay.
I guess, how many have there traditionally been? 1?
Since the beginning of time,
Well,
we used to do 12.
I like that.
I think we've done, did we do 2 last year, Kirsten?
Yeah, we did do 2 last year.
Two
Yeah.
works for me.
Yep. I can do lunchtime or after work, of course.
Well, I think we should be consistent at the time we meet, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Does that work for you, Bryce?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to go otherwise.
No, that's true, you can't do it, the lunch is tough for you. You know, 21st, 23rd?
21st would be better, I leave the 22nd through the 28th.
Say that again?
I leave the 22nd through the 28th, so the 21st would be perfect.
That would be better, okay.
Which dates?
April 21st,
Okay.
the 20th is our meeting.
Yeah.
No, yes, yep,
Want to do something the week of the 13th?
sure.
13th?
Would you guys, are you ready, would you be ready for the 13th?
I mean, I could be, if that's the best date, but later
Or
that week would
it
give
was
me even more time.
16th?
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's fine. Yeah, that's actually good. It's a budget for 21st.
All right, so we're saying the 16th and the 21st,
At 6 p.m.?
Yeah.
6 p.m.
16th and 21st?
Yes, if that works for everybody.
Yeah, so back to
Should.
back Thursdays. Or
Oh, no.
no, Thursday and Tuesday.
Yes. All
6
right.
o'clock.
Okay. We don't need a motion for that.
Well,
That'll be when I give you your pen back.
requirements.
It was close.
But yeah, this will be, I mean, yeah, I guess it has to be a special meeting, doesn't it, since we are a quorum. Do we need to vote on this, that
No.
we're creating?
You can set meeting times.
Okay.
Dates.
All right, and item F, public comment, 4 minutes. Anybody? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Moved by Commissioner Prunick, supported by Commissioner Birch to adjourn. Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor?